Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 92 of Like, Share, Follow. And this episode, I have the wonderful Jess Friend, who's a marketing assistant at Chekoh and soon to be a Uni SC grad. So just finishing up your degree now, Jess. So what degree did you actually do? And congratulations, too.
Thank you. So I studied a Bachelor of Communication with a major in marketing and a minor in social media.
Right. And that's how we met, was when you were doing the social media course.
Yes, lots and lots of those.
Yeah. And so you mainly studied online as well, didn't you?
So much easier for me. The closest campus is about 40 minutes drive. Saving on the travel, doing more study was kind of how I made that logic work.
Yeah. And the thing is, because you work full-time as well, don't you?
Yeah. So I found like a lot of the online classes, as opposed to the on-campus classes, were in the evening, so I could still do my work day and then log on and do my uni work at night, and that just really worked to be able to earn money and also learn. Yeah,
excellent. And so with your degree, so when did you actually start working at Chekoh, and what does Chekoh sell?
So Chekoh is a baby carrier brand based in Redcliffe, and I started there about a year and a half ago, so during my time at USC. And in the interim, I also did social media freelancing. So I've been doing that since the get-go, and then got the job at Chekoh through my experience at uni. And it's been really good so far.
Excellent. And so what sort of tasks do you do at Chekoh as part of your role in marketing?
So a bit of content creation, social media scheduling for Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest. I do the paid ads, a bit of marketing strategy, story, like all of that sort of content creation on Canva, blogs, emails, EDMs, a bit of everything. So it's really great to be able to apply the skills that I was learning at uni while I was working at Chekoh.
Yeah. And so what do you think actually set you apart when you went for the role at Chekoh?
Age, for one. Like I'm a, what you would call, I guess, a senior student. So I started at USC when I was 27. And I'm almost 30 now. So I think the life experience helped, because I've worked in retail, customer service, hospitality, events, skincare, manufacturing, and now marketing. So I feel like all of those have helped with my soft skills. And then also working towards that degree helped me stand out. So a bit of real world experience, and then like the more technical side of things while I was studying.
Yeah. So it sounds like you had a really good like mix. Of skills and knowledge. And what has been some of the best advice given to you in your career so
far? Don't sell yourself short. So it's really hard to know your worth, and you get stuck in a trap of working for free or a really discounted rate for a really long time. So it's easy to undersell yourself rather than sell yourself. Know your worth. The confidence takes time, and I'm still a work in progress, but it does get easier the more confident you feel at what you're doing. And when you see where you sit with the rest of the pack, you know, that helps.
Yeah. And you don't worry, we're all a work in progress. So
it's hard, isn't it?
Never ends. And building that confidence too, I think never, it's always ongoing. And I think that's a really good point you make about not selling yourself short, and even asking for what you're worth, because I think a lot of people struggle with that. I guess it's, I don't know, like it just feels a bit scary to put it out there.
And it's also, you've not only got to find what you're worth, but you've got to find the right fit, because there will always be clients that won't want to pay what someone is worth. So you have to shop around as much as they have to shop around. And there'll be people you'll send your rates through to, because I do content creation on the side as well. So photography for skincare brands and things like that. And you'll send your rates to some people and they'll be like, oh, amazing. Thank you. Yes, let's sign you up. And then other people are like, oh, we only have a free gifting collaboration thing going on. So there will always be people that are willing to pay what you're worth, and then others. So don't take the people that won't pay it as gospel. They don't define your worth. You'll always find someone else.
I remember when Clubhouse was like booming a couple of years ago. I remember I sat in and listened to this discussion, and and it was about this topic about asking for what you're worth. And there was this woman, a successful businesswoman in there, and she said, just ask like in a real matter-of-fact way, like you're asking someone to pass you the salt. So just put it out. Like it is what it is. So rather than getting all nervous and putting it out there like that, just be like actually emotionless and just ask. Deadpan.
Yeah, think like a boss would think.
Absolutely. And so now that you're at the end of your degree, and you've been working in the field while you're studying, so that's really great. And so what has been some of the skills and knowledge you gained at university that's actually helped you in your role now?
So a lot of things. I went into uni kind of scared and worried that I wouldn't do well and I wouldn't be able to find my class and I wouldn't submit my assignments on time. But as soon as I started, I knew I was like so interested. And when you have the interest, you just thrive, I feel. So the things day to day that I use are branding, social media, like best practice, the sizing, the length of the videos, the captions, the hashtag strategies, narrowing your target market is a really big one, and developing a marketing plan. Things that I didn't think I would use so much, but do are like research and referencing skills. Yes. And even just hints. In one of our tutorials once, you showed us a website called, is it SEO Optima or SE Optima? It's like a website. Cool. Yeah, and I use that all the time for different clients because it just helps pick up all of the small things on the website that need work rather than me manually going through everything, and it's a huge time saver.
Yeah. Oh, good. I'm glad you took that away. And so now on the flip side of that, what has been something you wish you'd learned at university that you really need in your current role?
Whether it's a need or a want to make things easier, I think it would have been really handy to do a design subject, like graphic design. I do a lot of things in Canva every day, and like knowing the design principles helps to make, quick work of a long job. But I feel if I knew how to use maybe like Illustrator and a proper Photoshop, like the Adobe suite, back to front, I think that would really, really help. It's not something that I can't learn on my own. It just takes time. So it would have been awesome to have that integrated into my uni schedule. But other than that, I feel like your classes were extremely hands-on based on the real world. And I don't think all subjects are like that. So to have like the real world element and not just assessment piece after assessment piece, that's all theory. That would have helped a bit more. But other than that, I feel like everything else has stood me well.
Excellent. Yeah, look, I'm just a firm believer in, I don't think theory makes a lot of sense unless you actually apply it to real life. Like that's where
especially in this space,
that's where the meaning comes into it, because you have to see how it actually works in reality for you to actually, get it. Well, that's what I was like as a learner. I still am as a learner anyway. So I sort of carried that through into the course.
Because it's difficult in the marketing space. If you know all the theory and then you get put into a job, like, how do I actually apply that?
Yeah. And what does it look like? What does it actually look like when it's working in reality?
When it's done well, what does that look like?
Yeah. And because you are working in the social media space and it changes so often, what's been something that you have picked up in the last couple of weeks that you found really interesting?
Oh, okay. So in my work, I do a lot of scheduling and a lot of reel creation and a lot of like resharing of people's content with permission, of course. So I'm just a website that allows you to pull images and reels directly from Instagram without watermarks. So after it's been posted with the audio and all the features on it, but without the watermark. So if you just type in reel downloader into Google, there are heaps that come up. One of them is snapinsta.app. There are a few, and you just put the URL into the box and it converts it for you, and you can download it as a MP4 or a JPEG, whatever the content style is, and then you can reuse that on your platform with permission if you didn't want to just go the reshare route.
Yeah, excellent. Now, because I know there's a version for TikTok as well, but I didn't realize there was the opposite.
Yes, Snaptip or something like that. Yeah, so they do it for Instagram now too, and that really helps if you're pulling UGC from people's profiles with permission, and then you can sort of in post collaborate them together and create ads from that. We find that to be really useful.
Yeah, excellent. And what advice would you give to someone, like you're working in the field? So just say we're speaking to people who are just about to finish or have finished, who are now sort of searching for their first sort of step in their career in their chosen industry. What advice would you give to them about how to succeed?
Well, firstly, congratulations. How very exciting time. So my biggest tip would be to just keep learning, because in this space, if you think you know everything, you are wrong. There is always a new trend, a new update, even a new app to keep on top of. I recently, begrudgingly, had to download TikTok. I know I'm old. It took me a long time to get on board, but I'm here. So like go broad, learn the fundamentals of everything you need to know. And then once you find out what you like, delve deep into that niche is kind of my advice. This goes for like if you're into the content creation side of things too, just to keep experimenting. It's all good to find your niche, but that's always changing and developing, and people's interests change as well as the demographic that you're going to reach. So we've found a shift from people on Instagram that really like that polished content. You know, that's, I think, my sort of generation, but the new generation that's coming through are using, you know, Be Real, TikTok, all of these sort of organic, not polished content. And that's what they thrive on. So you kind of have to be across it all.
Yeah, that's great advice. And I mean, it's really, I mean, I think that's why I love social media so much, is that it is constantly changing, and I've got a very short attention span, and so I constantly have to change with it. But also that you learn by doing. It's very practical. So the way that you perfect creating content and writing and things like that is that you actually just keep doing it and testing, seeing what's going on, and keep perfecting and enhancing and learning. So I
because you can follow best practice all you like, and it's great to a point, but everything is different for every niche, for every country, for every demographic. So you really do just need to try out new things, and don't be embarrassed to fail. Just give it a go.
Yeah, like it'll either work or it doesn't, and then you learn from every post. I think about how people respond to it. So yeah, and that's right. Like some posts you just like, I've noticed this on TikTok. Like when I've done the really polished sort of posts, they don't do very well, but I think one of my best ones was where I just sort of whipped up the phone. It was a Sunday morning, no makeup, no nothing, and just rattled off something, and it went, you know, did pretty well. And I'm like, why am I spending all this time?
Exactly. It's like, it's all the off the cuff stuff, the fun stories, the relatable content that seems to be really booming right now. We had a lady in the US feature our carrier, one of our baby carriers at work, just a try on. She goes, "This is a dupe for a really expensive brand. It is amazing. Check this out." And she's just showing her baby in it. And we had over 1,000 site visitors come through straight away. So many purchases from the US. We don't typically retail to the US. And that's all from one small TikTok video that took 20 seconds to make.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? So you did, so it's just really like, what's working, do more of that. What's not working, do less of that. So that's what
simple theory. Yeah.
And so the most important question of the whole show is, who do you like, share, and follow?
I really had to think about this one.
Really?
Yeah, it took in. I was going through my follow list. I was like, who do I follow? I don't know. Like, I know I engage every day, but could I like bring names to mind? So for like fashion inspiration and those like sort of curated, polished content, I like Olive Cook and Lauren Burns. So they're on Instagram. I also follow PR agencies to stay on top of like the beauty industry trends, because I do a lot of work in that space. And it's good because if you have a PR agency that works in a space that you work in, they usually showcase the best content from multiple clients. So it's a little cheap if you want content inspo. And then as for industry, I follow you, of course. Did you know that I'm still in the CMN Facebook pages? I like to see the opportunity alerts you put out.
Well, yeah, there's some really good jobs that I post in there. So, so I think that's fine.
That's why I just keep in mind. I go, well, that's good. And then I just regularly scroll LinkedIn because a lot of my connections work in a similar field. So whatever they tend to like sort of resonates with me. So I just sort of cheat that way again, so I don't have to go through everything and just see what they like.
Yeah, I mean, LinkedIn's amazing. Like, I just think I wish I keep trying to tell students while they're at uni to get on there and start building their profile on there, and
it really does help.
It so helps. It really does. Yeah. So yeah, some listen, some I take some convincing, and then some they'll try it and they'll go, actually, oh my god, it was great. So
yeah, because you can get headhunted. So like if you have a niche and you have experience, or even if you're just freelancing and you put that experience on there, content creation, social media marketing, like any of that sort of stuff brings it up as a search term. So it makes you more findable for recruiters that need someone. And I've had people just DM me, you're looking for work? Like, we have this job at GHD or, you know, one of those places. And I go, I'm already working, but I know people that might be interested. And it sort of creates like a relational loop sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about like networking, but online. And I think a lot of jobs now aren't even advertised. People just go to LinkedIn and search to see who's around.
It's such a hassle to find good staff. So when they find people that already know what they're doing, so much easier.
Absolutely. And so we've sort of come now to the end of the questions for this episode of Like, Share, Follow. And do you have any final words of wisdom that you'd like to share?
Final words of wisdom. Stay connected with the people that you go to uni with, because again, with that networking, they already know how you work. They know your background. They've been where you've been. It's always really good to stay in contact. Like, I have a list of people on my LinkedIn just to be able to see where they're at, you know, and connect in future. Maybe you can collaborate, not on a group assignment, but working really well. So yeah, if anyone would like to connect, that's my name on the screen and you can find me there.
Excellent. Well, thanks, Jess. And so that brings us to the end of episode 92. So we're coming nearly to the end of this project, this series. So there's 8 spots left for guests. So if you are watching and you studied social media and marketing at the University of the Sunshine Coast and would like to be on Like, Share, Follow, send me a message and you might be in the very last few guests that we have. So thank you for your time today, Jess. Thanks to everyone for watching. And we'll see you next time, probably next week. I think there'll be another episode. So we'll see you then. Thanks, everyone.
See you.
Bye.